There's not much you need to prove once you've won one of the biggest talent competitions in the world. Yet contestant Shin Lim from the US recently made history by becoming the first two-time winner of America's Got Talent. The Canadian-American took the judges' breaths away with his audition and kept going until he won both America's Got Talent Season 13 and America's Got Talent The Champions. The breakout star has perfected his art over many years and believes in the power of hard work above all else. He revealed that he does see how he needs to keep working hard to ensure his success, and we can see how much that sort of thinking has benefited him since he first learned that he enjoyed magic. So join us as we take a look into what really happened to this musician-turned-magician that led him to become the star that he is today.
Yeah, I was going up there in the finalists and I was like, okay, I don't know if I have a shot. This is kind of crazy. It's anyone's game. So It was insane. I don't know how I did it.
Shin Lim has been in the spotlight far longer than his scintillating audition at America's Got Talent. Like many magicians before him, he's had to make his name in the industry. Born in Canada in 1991, Shin is the second of 3 children in his family. Despite being of Han Chinese descent, he spent the first 2 years of his life in Vancouver because of his father's degree. The family then moved to Singapore for his formative years of life. When Shin was 11 years of age, his family moved to Massachusetts, United States, and here the revered magician went to Acton-Boxborough Regional High School. Young Shin initially developed an interest in music, and when he found himself unable to work with the violin his grandmother gifted him, switched to learning piano. After graduating high school, he attended the Lee University School of Music in Tennessee. But music was not all that Shin was fond of when he was younger. Yi, Shin's older brother, had once shown him a simple card trick, and that's all it took. In an interview with NBC, he revealed that he was so amazed by his brother's magic trick that he assumed there was some secret, all-exclusive magic club one needed to be a part of to learn the trade. Hours spent on YouTube taught Shin all kinds of trade secrets, and when he developed a style of his own, he started making his own videos on the platform. Unfortunately, there came a time when Shin had to choose between his 2 great career aspirations. He was diagnosed with carpal tunnel syndrome when he was 20 and could not spend the required 20 hours per week of practice time on his piano. He had a decision to make: magic or piano, and years later, it seemed like he made the correct one. Taking a year-long sabbatical from his education, Shin continued his magic practice and made videos on YouTube, building his fan base gradually. He even started developing tricks that could be sold to his fans. In this year-long sabbatical, he also participated in the 2012 Fédération Internationale des Sociétés Magiques World Championship, translated to the International Federation of Magic Societies World Championship, and finished 6th place. At this point, Shin was not sure if he wanted to stick it out as a magician, but he was offered to tour all over China performing magic tricks by an agent who'd seen his performance at the competition. He agreed and made big differences to his routine, ones that still exist to this day. He dropped narration and made the act longer, and eventually that set him apart from his peers. Throughout the tour, the young magician continued to become popular, and the end of the tour was the final act. This tour convinced him that magic is what he wanted to pursue in the future, and he dropped out of university. 2 years later, now a better and far superior magician, Shin Lim re-entered the Fédération Internationale des Sociétés Magiques World Championship and won the competition for close-up card magic. This made him much more visible to scouts and agents looking for this exact brand of talent. Not long after his victory at the World Championship in 2015, Lim was contacted by the producers of Penn and Teller Fool Us, and if you're unfamiliar with it, the show's premise is just magicians being invited on to try and fool hosts Penn and Teller with their tricks. Impressed by his sleight of hand in his YouTube videos, the two offered him a spot and were left fooled by his routine. Penn described the serious attention Shin gave to card tricks, which are traditionally considered silly, as wonderful. He also described Lim as part of a third wave of magicians, the kind that bridges the gap between the likes of David Copperfield and Doug Henning, all with the reactivity aspects of magicians like David Blaine. As if getting that sort of high praise wasn't enough, Shin's performance of Fool Us was uploaded to YouTube, and immediately it went viral and garnered over 74 million views. This led to his second appearance on the show in 2017 via invitation. He revealed that his first performance on the show made him realize that his magic was worth pursuing. That first performance opened a lot of doors for him, the most impressive of which was at the House of Magic in Macau, China, which Lim considered the best gig in magic. Another milestone in his career came when he uploaded the Pray for Paris YouTube video. The performance of his 52 Shades of Red, a tribute to the victims of the November 2015 Paris attacks, drew further attention to his skills. But things seemed bleak for Shin when he injured 2 tendons on his left thumb while practicing magic in 2016, and it almost meant that he could not go back to magic either. As it turned out, modern medicine has come a long way, and he received surgery to repair the tendons, and after intense therapy, he made a full recovery. An interesting fun fact about Shin Lim's audition at America's Got Talent Season 13, he'd been contacted by the producers to audition after they saw him on Fool Us, and he turned it down at first. 2 years and another big appearance on Fool Us later, Shin felt ready to audition for one of the biggest talent competitions in the world. With his fiancée Casey's support and encouragement, he managed to earn 8.5 million views on the video of his audition from 2018. He performed by making host Tyra Banks a part of his trick, and after the incredible show, all judges voted yes and keenly sent him to the judge cuts. We know how his journey on AGT Season 13 ended, and how every single performance of his got him that much closer to winning the competition. And after the quarter-final performance, he revealed that he was told by Judge Simon Cowell to show more of his personality. Evidently, the advice worked out, and Shin left the show with $1 million and a headline act at the Paris Theatre in Paris, Las Vegas. Shin Lim did not get much time to establish himself outside of America's Got Talent, since he almost immediately started filming for AGT, The Champions, after his win. This version of the show was more brutal, since the competition now consisted of pre-established contestants who'd already proven themselves extraordinarily and possessed huge fan bases. The competition was fierce, and with his first performance on the show in the preliminaries, Shin was determined to win. After a standing ovation from all the judges, he was voted into the top 3. In his competition with the Sons of Serendip and Attraction, he received the most votes and was sent to the final. His semi-final and final performances swooped the judges and viewers off their feet, and managed to edge out competitors Darcy Lynn, Ksenia Simonova, Christina Ramos, and Preacher Lawson, and ended up receiving the honor of Best Talent in the World. Since then, Shin has been on the show as a guest performer on multiple episodes. He performed a card trick with Jay Leno and the audience in episode 12 of season 14. Then in episode 2 of The Champion Season 2, as part of Mark Spielman's act, and later in the 7th episode of The Champion Season 2 with Colin Cloud, to name a few. After his success on the show and online, he began headlining a long-term Las Vegas residency in the Terry Fator Theater at the Mirage Casino Hotel in October 2019. He told the Las Vegas Review-Journal that he's always kind of dreamed of this opportunity, because touring can be hard for a magic show, and Copperfield and Burton have had residencies here. He also began performing with the Illusionists on tour and went on his own tour in the US in 2020. He's also been featured on TV very often and has made appearances on talk shows like The Tonight Show starring Jimmy Fallon, The Ellen DeGeneres Show, and The Today Show. Another impressive thing Shin has revealed about himself is that he doesn't actually consider what he does similar to what other magicians do. He's technically not doing magic, but performing sleight of hand. He revealed that he views close-up magic as a totally different art form. Being a magician that takes one's breath away in today's day and age, when every single sleight of hand can be recreated by a YouTube video, is no easy feat, but it seems one Shin Lim has mastered.